Hey, I'm here again. Oh, me. Um, well, today I'm gonna be serious. I'm gonna be really serious, and tell you guys my coming out story. In case you didn't know, I'm gay. Like, really gay. To anybody who knows me, who's my friend, or who's a relative, or anything who has seen this, or is seeing this, and, I haven't told you yet, and this is the way that you're finding out. I probably haven't told you, because, I don't know, I probably haven't found the right time, or maybe we're not close enough, maybe we don't talk as often, I don't know. Maybe it's not relevant. I don't think my sexuality is the first thing that I want people to think about me when they hear my name, or when they think, oh, there's Naomi, you know? Anyways, I guess my story starts when I was in elementary school. I had my first crush. I had a crush on this girl named Sajeda. She was so cute. She was so nice. She was nice to all the girls that she came into contact with. She was just a beautiful person. I didn't know what a crush was. I didn't know what gay was. I just knew that I liked her. And I was happy, holding her hand and running around with her. She wasn't my best friend or anything. She had lots of people that she was close to. I was kind of antisocial almost. I was really insecure when I was little. But, I don't know. I kind of got over it. But I will say that Sajeda helped me kind of figure out who I am, because she didn't care about my proximity. She didn't care how close I was. She didn't care about holding my hand. She was just nice to me. And I loved that. I needed a friend. I needed somebody who was going to be there for me. Then it goes to, middle school. I had boyfriends all throughout middle school. 5th grade, I had my first boyfriend. I wouldn't even call those boys in middle school, real, boyfriends. Because, what are you doing in middle school? These are just people that you see in school that you hold hands with, basically. But if you want to count them, I guess. But I would say that I had so many, not because I was, like a baller or anything. I wasn't like a pimp. Hello. I guess I was figuring myself out. I thought that, dating guy after guy would help. And I dated different kinds of guys, and it didn't help. I still liked girls. It wasn't going to go away. So I guess I figured I was bi. Then 9th grade came. And I had my first serious relationship with a kid named Matthias. And he was, basically my first love and everything. Wonderful. But I found myself feeling like I wasn't completely happy towards, the end of the relationship. I'd always liked girls, and I'd always been attracted to them, and we had talked about it, and he was okay with it and stuff. And I didn't know what to do, though, because it's my wanting to be with girls was pulling me away from him a little bit, so that was a strain on our relationship. But there was also other strains too that ended up pulling us apart, so we broke up. I would say my next serious and last relationship that I ever had with a guy was Daryl. That was 11th grade year, beginning of 11th grade year. He was my boo bear, my awesomeness. So close to him, and so we had a wonderful relationship, everything. I guess I was his first, I was the first girl that he really, fell for, and I wasn't sure if I was ready for that responsibility and stuff, because, people get really attached, but Daryl was a wonderful person all around and regardless, so I don't think I cared if he was so attached to me. But I broke up with him, because I realized I was gay. I realized I wanted to be with girls more than I wanted to be with guys. I'd always told my friends that I had a craving for girls, or that I wanted to be with a girl, or that I wanted this, I wanted that, but I never made it happen, or I was never patient enough to wait for it. But by the time that one finally came, I guess that liked me, or that kind of showed interest in me, that's what made me realize that I was gay, that I wasn't bi, I wasn't just curious, I didn't just have a craving or whatever. It was January. I was at one of my friends' parties, and this girl, Alex, came up to me, and She was so wonderful. She's still, one of my friends to this day, but she kind of helped me realize exactly how I felt about girls, because she was so attractive, and she was, like, nice. Like, we didn't do anything, but I just remember feeling like having fun with her and dancing and being with her throughout the party was what I wanted to feel all the time. I wanted to feel that sense of, like, being wanted by a girl, She was clearly attracted to me, but I drew a line because I was still with Daryl. But the next day was when I had to tell him, because I knew that I wasn't happy. And I didn't want to be in a relationship. I couldn't put anyone else through a relationship where their all wasn't given and my all wasn't given. It's not fair, and I couldn't hurt somebody like that, especially Daryl. He could never deserve anything like that. So I told him, and I came out. I called him. I remember I was nervous. I didn't go to school that day. I told him I had something to tell him. I was going to tell him the next day, but he was texting me throughout the day. He kind of had the feeling that I was going to break up with him. But I didn't want to leave him, because not only was he, like, the best boyfriend I had ever had, but he was an awesome person around and in general, and he's not somebody I would just want out of my life like that. So we stayed friends, and that's why we are best friends, basically. He and his twin brother David, we're like 3 peas in a pod. Well, he said he was okay with it, basically, Daryl was not okay. At first, I didn't expect him to be. I didn't even expect him to talk to me anymore. I didn't expect him to want to have anything to do with me. I feel like my hair is sticking out on the side. Is that my hair? No, it's not my hair. Anyways, well, after Daryl and I had our falling out and coming back together, we still stayed really close and everything, but I was still missing that thing, that relationship, and I found it. I got my first girlfriend. I would say April 12th. It was April 12th. That's our anniversary. I know it. She's probably watching this. I didn't forget. I know our anniversary. Promise you. Oh, and she's probably really mad at me because I'm supposed to be calling her right now, but I told her I had to upload a video. I had the feel. I wanted to put this up. It's a little freeing. Anyways, that was a sidebar. I would say around February, because my grandmother died. I remember it was before my grandma died. I came out to my mom, and it wasn't even on purpose. I didn't want to come out to my mother at all until after I was, like, out of the house and safe, and like, basically so I could have something concrete, like I could be in a relationship with somebody comfortably, happily, and if my mom rejected me, I'd have somewhere to go, like my own house and my own life. But she was sitting on the couch, and she was just talking to me about life, like, how's life going, how's school going, and she was like, how's Daryl? I was like, oh, Daryl's good, he's good. And she was like, I don't hear you talking about him anymore, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand. Why isn't he coming around anymore? And I was like, I kind of broke up with him. She was like, why? I said, I'm kind of gay. I'm gay. And then she was like, how am I going to have grandkids? Like, I was so happy. It was random. I was taken aback because I wasn't expecting that, but I was happy because, what? Like, of all the things that you could say, you don't hate me, you don't want me to be far away from you, you don't mind, you're okay. You just worry about grandchildren? I can give you an answer about grandchildren. I can adopt, do whatever. There's many options, but as long as you still love me, My mom still loved me. She hugged me, and she told me she loved me. She's a very loving person. My dad, he was the hard bridge to cross. He was the one that I definitely was not going to say anything to until I was after I was out of the house. I knew that my mom had said something to him because, she wouldn't keep something like that from him. So I knew that he knew, but he hadn't said anything to me. Nothing for like a long time. I would say it was about a week ago. Like a week and a half ago, something like that. When I told my dad, when I came out to him. When I actually officially said it to him. He was cutting meat in the kitchen and talking. I said something about homos, I think it was like a joke or whatever. And he was like, oh, speaking of homosexuality. And then he went on this entire rant about it being an abomination, about how in the Bible it says Adam and Eve and man and woman and all this other religious stuff. He wasn't wrong. Yes, that's what it says in the Bible, and I am a Christian myself. I don't care what anybody says about that, or if there's somebody who is confused on the dynamics of being Christian and gay. It's possible. There are very Christian people. But I didn't want to be Christian for his reasons, because he started saying things like, I should have taken you to church more when you were younger. I'm going to take you to church more, and you need to be baptized. I'm going to get you baptized, and you do understand that it's Adam and Eve, man and woman, right? Like, the way he was asking me was basically saying, once you agree with what I'm saying, you're going to be straight. And that's not how it works. That's just the way I am. And I couldn't believe that he wasn't comforting me. I told him, I love going to church. I love reading the Bible, everything. I don't mind any of that. I want to get baptized, but I'm not going to want to do any of that if it's because you're looking for me to turn straight out of this. That's not what's going to happen. It's not like, I feel like it's not something he can control. It's not something anybody can control. It's just something he probably won't understand. I'll have a whole other debate about that later, but he was the hardest one. I didn't want to be around him after that. I didn't want to hear it. He was still talking about it and upset and irritated, and my mom was like, oh, why would you say all that when you know that Naomi, like how she feels about girls and stuff? And he was like, how do you feel about girls? I was like, Dad, don't act like you don't know I'm gay. And then it got even worse. He went on to a whole other rant, and more in-depth about what he was talking about, and gave me specific stories from the Bible about homosexuals being, like, ostracized or cast out and like, sent to hell or whatever. Thing is, I feel like the ones in the Bible were the ones, they were gay, but they didn't, like, serve God. They didn't praise Him and have Him in their life. They weren't intertwined or desired for any type of divine connection like that. That's why they were smited and hurt or cast out and ostracized. There's a difference between being gay and ignorant towards God, like not caring that He exists or not acknowledging His existence and not embracing it, not wanting it, not wanting His presence. And that's not what I am. I'm not trying to go against my religion, go against God, go against anything. It's just the way I am. And I'm proud of myself right now because I love myself. I love myself the way I am, and it might be wrong, it might be a sin, but sins can be forgiven. People lie, steal, cheat every day, and I mean, I want to say that I'm sure that a lot of them don't go to hell because they're not bad people, which sounds right, but at the end of the day, I'm not the one who gets to decide whether or not they go to hell or whether or not they're good or bad people. When they die, what happens to them is what happens to them, and you know what? Until I die, no one can really say where I'm going to go then, can they? I'll just find out. I love you, Lauren. I hope you're watching this, and I hope that I see you soon, because I don't see you often enough. Mwah. I think that's about it.